Hey everybody, it's Pastor Caleb. Hope you're doing well. I got another devotion for us from Mark chapter 4. We're going to be looking at Jesus calming the storm. I know a lot of times in our lives we face different storms and different things that we go through, and we always feel like that we're alone and that we never have comfort or peace during those times. I want to read from Mark chapter 4 with Jesus calming the storm. So starting in verse 35 of chapter 4, it says, "On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, 'Let us go across to the other side.' And leaving the crowd, they took with him in the boat, just as he was, and other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling." So water is already coming into this boat. "But he," talking of Jesus in verse 38, "was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him and said to him, 'Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?' And he awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, 'Peace, be still.' And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. He said to them, 'Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith?' And they were filled with great fear and said to one another, 'Who then is this? Even the wind and the seas obey him.'" So I think this is a really good devotion for us in this season that we're in. There's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know what this virus is going to do. We don't know what how the world's going to react. We don't know just a lot of things that are going on. But I take comfort in knowing that Jesus has authority over everything. It says that the wind and the seas obey him. So Jesus, let's remember, he has created everything. He has authority over everything. He has authority over me. He has authority over you. He has authority over disease, earthquakes, natural disasters, anything, you name it. He has authority over it because he's the sovereign Lord. And let's just think about it. He's asleep on the boat. Think about being on a boat in a souped up John boat during a hurricane. It's not like your odds are in your favor, and that's how these disciples felt. They felt like the odds were stacked against them, and Jesus is sleeping in the back of the boat, and he's like, "You know what, guys? I got this." He says, "Peace and be still," to the waves and to the wind, and there was this great calm over everything that was in their lives. And he asked them a question: "Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? Have you still no faith?" So my challenge for us today is, what storm are you in? And are you afraid of that storm? Because a lot of times we learn a lot in the midst of a storm. We learn more about God and Jesus in the midst of a storm. And I love this because he is with them in the storm. He's with the disciples in the storm. It's not like he just jumped out of the boat and said, I'll see you later. He's there, and he's not afraid of the wind. He's not afraid of the waves because he has authority over those elements. And he tells them to be still. And then the wind and the sea obey him, and the disciples are just, they marvel at this because they can't understand it. They have yet to really grasp who Jesus is. And maybe that's where some of us are today. We can't really grasp who Jesus is in the midst of this uncertainty with this virus. But look, Jesus is in control. Jesus has authority over everything. So just rest in that today, that Jesus is supreme, that Jesus has authority, and that he can tell the wind and the waves to calm down and to be still. So rest in that today, that no matter what storm we're in, Jesus is with us, and that he has authority over that storm. I hope this short devotion has encouraged you that no matter what storm you face, Jesus is with you. If you have questions about Christianity, a relationship with Jesus, feel free to reach out. We would love to engage with you. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.